Hello and welcome. My name is Sarah Redfield, and I am a student in CSC 1061, a class where we learn all about mobile technology. Today, we'll be teaching you a little bit about Excel spreadsheets and how to use the fill handle in Excel. Please enjoy this video, and I hope you learned something. In this video, I will be discussing a few different topics. First, I will cover what the fill handle actually is, why it is important, and what it can be used for. Then I will show you how to actually use the fill handle, and then I will show you how to use the fill handle with different examples such as copying values and formulas and creating specific patterns as well. So, just to give some background, the fill handle is a small square in the bottom right corner of a selected cell. When you click and drag it, Excel automatically fills cells based on the pattern. The fill handle works with different types of data such as copying values, formulas, number patterns, and dates. It is very useful because it saves you a lot of time, reduces manual typing, and eliminates errors by automatically identifying or extending patterns. Now that we have a little context on the fill handle, I will show you how to actually use it. Let's open up a blank spreadsheet in Excel and we're going to type any sort of value into a cell. For now, I'll put the letter X as a placeholder. After we type in X, we can click on that cell and it will be highlighted with blue lines and a blue dot in the bottom right corner. Once we see the blue lines and the blue dot, we click on the blue dot and drag it down as many cells as we need. Let's say, for example, that we need to see 10 X's. I would drag it down 10 cells and we will see 10 cells worth of X's. The next topic I will cover is copying formulas using the fill handle. First off, a formula is a concise, symbolic rule or relationship expressed using letters, numbers, and symbols, commonly used in math, science, and logic to represent principles, calculate values, or define chemical compounds. The fill handle is extremely useful for copying formulas because when you are dealing with numbers in math, you want to reduce any input errors. It is also useful because any sort of math can often take a long time to type out. In this way, you significantly reduce the amount of time needed to write everything out. Now let's get into how to actually use the fill handle to copy a formula. The first thing to remember for formulas is that in order to get a result, you must put an equal sign before the formula. Otherwise, Excel will not recognize that it needs to come up with an answer. Just like before, we will type any formula into an empty cell. For this example, I will use the formula equals A4 plus B4, where values in the A column represent the bill and values in the B column represent sales tax. When we press enter, it will give us the total. And when we click and drag on the bottom right-hand corner down all the columns that we need, it will give us the final value, the bill plus the sales tax. The last topic I will be discussing is how to use the fill handle to create certain number patterns. Creating specific patterns can be very useful, especially as a student. Again, the fill handle can be very useful because it saves so much time and stress and limits the amount of errors that could be made. Let's say we want to make a number pattern that is increasing by values of 50s, but we don't want to have to type every single value into every single cell. So we would start by typing the number 0 into the first cell, which is A1. After that, we would type 50 into the second cell, A2. Now, an important note is that when creating a unique number pattern, you can't just click and drag from one value. You must click on the first cell and drag down to the second cell until both cells are highlighted in blue. Once that is done, you can click on the blue dot in the bottom right corner and drag it down to however many cells you need. For this video, we'll just say we need the number pattern to go down to 10 cells. So we'll click and drag down 10 cells and every cell will increase by a value of 50. So, we just learned a whole bunch about how to use the fill handle in Excel spreadsheets. To refresh your memory, the fill handle is a small square in the bottom right-hand corner of a selected cell. When you click and drag it, Excel automatically fills cells based on the pattern. This can be extremely useful for copying values, formulas, creating certain number patterns, and anything else that needs to be repeated. In order to correctly use the fill handle, you simply type the first and sometimes second value needed in an empty cell, and then click on the blue dot in the bottom right-hand corner to the number of cells desired. And that's the fill handle. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you now have enough knowledge on how to use the fill handle in Excel spreadsheets and you can use it to your benefit.